Good evening. Welcome to California Today. I'm Liang Zhang. Here is a preview of some of today's stories. San Francisco officials are considering a new policy that would exempt certain criminals from the sanctuary city policy. This comes after federal authorities notified the DA about 2 criminal fugitives in the city. City officials in Los Angeles are also considering new policies. The city launched a new program that would provide an unarmed alternative response to policing. Lawmakers at the state capitol proposed a new bill that would allow people to sue pregnancy centers for alleged misinformation. But opposition groups are saying it could be a constitutional violation. Officials in San Francisco are thinking about making exceptions to its sanctuary city policy. It comes after the city's district attorney received notice of 2 fugitives who committed violent crimes in the city.
San Francisco District Attorney Brooke Jenkins is working with the Board of Supervisors to make an exception to the city's sanctuary city law in order to bring 2 men to justice. In a statement, she said the Department of Homeland Security notified her about 2 suspects abroad who committed, quote, unspeakable crimes in the city in 2009 and 2021. According to the San Francisco Chronicle, one is accused of domestic violence murder, while the other of sexual child abuse. Each has a set bail of $5 million. San Francisco passed its first sanctuary ordinance in 1989. And then in 2013, it passed the Due Process for All. According to the latest amendment in 2016, city employees may not use city resources to assist or cooperate with any ICE investigation, detention, or arrest relating to alleged violations of the civil provisions of federal immigration law. The law was originally designed to be inclusive so all residents, regardless of immigration status, feel safe. But the recent spike in crimes and drugs, especially fentanyl, have proved challenging to maintain the law. Cron 4 reports that San Francisco Supervisor Matt Dorsey has also introduced legislation to make an exception to the law for illegal immigrants who have been arrested for dealing with fentanyl. It would deport any illegal immigrant convicted of fentanyl distribution within 7 years of previous conviction. According to the governor's office, California has seized enough fentanyl to kill the entire population of North America twice.
Los Angeles City launched a public safety initiative to provide trauma training to community intervention workers. The goal is to implement unarmed response alternatives to policing.
Los Angeles City officials announced the Project Turn initiative on February 13th. TURN stands for Therapeutic Unarmed Response for Neighbors. The program, launched with $2.2 million in city funding, seeks to help the over 100 community intervention workers in the city with training to create an alternative to police response. It will have an unarmed model of community engagement and gang prevention strategies. Councilwoman Monica Rodriguez, chair of the City Council's Public Safety Committee, said, "That's the whole point, is that we want to avoid the crisis before we're in one." Akila Shariels, co-founder of the community-based Public Safety Collective, said, quote, "They know the terrain, they know the families. They'll have more intelligence in terms of what's happening in the street than law enforcement will ever have." The training is provided by the community-based Public Safety Collective, the Reverence Project, and the BUILD program. They will provide therapy and other activities such as yoga, meditation, and healing circles.
In LA County, the Board of Supervisors approved multiple new gun regulations last week, but many are opposing the new gun reforms as a constitutional violation. The measures come shortly after a series of mass shootings that killed 18 people in California.
On February 7th, the Los Angeles County Board of Supervisors unanimously approved a series of gun regulation measures following the recent string of mass shootings. The first measure will forbid the sale of .50 caliber handguns and ammunition in unincorporated areas. The second will prohibit the carrying of guns at county facilities such as beaches, ball fields, and parks, with an exception for law enforcement officers. The 2 ordinances are expected to take effect soon. The county is also looking to pass other measures, including a 1,000-foot buffer zone between gun stores and schools, warning signs in stores about the risks of having firearms at home, and mandating gun owners to carry liability insurance. The board is also seeking to mandate privately owned firearms to be stored in a locked container. But an attorney for the county advised the board there were some doubts about the feasibility of the lock and key requirement, noting recent federal court rulings relating to firearms. Additionally, attorney C.D. Michelle, who is also president of the California Rifle and Pistol Association, told the LA Times these gun reform measures may violate the First and Second Amendments and that he will be challenging the gun reforms in court.
A lawmaker in California is introducing a bill that targets pro-life pregnancy centers. It would allow residents to sue the centers for aiding speech or advertisements that they deem to be misinformation. However, many opposition groups are slamming the bill as yet another constitutional violation in the state.
On January 26th, Democratic Assemblywoman Rebecca Bauer-Kahn introduced Assembly Bill 315, which targets pro-life pregnancy centers. In a February 2nd press release, Bauer-Kahn accuses pro-life centers for allegedly luring unsuspecting women seeking abortions into their crisis pregnancy centers and, quote, limiting reproductive freedom by lying about their services. According to the language of the bill, it would, quote, prohibit a person doing business in California who is performing, has performed, or intends to perform a pregnancy-related service from advertising using a false or misleading statement related to a person's provision or lack of provision of abortion. It would also authorize the state attorney general, district attorneys, and city attorneys to sue for injunctive relief or fines. The bill comes after California Attorney General Rob Bonta issued a consumer alert warning last June. He alleged that some crisis pregnancy centers falsely claimed to provide abortion services in an attempt to discourage people facing unintended pregnancies from accessing the abortion care. Many opposition groups are criticizing the bill on the grounds that it is so expansive that any pro-life ministry or church that offers women health counseling could be affected. Jonathan Keller, president of California Family Council, told the Epoch Times that California, quote, seems determined to violate the constitutional rights to free speech and that he does not expect it to hold up in court.
After a Democrat-supported bill repealed a law against loitering for prostitution purposes, multiple cities across the state are now seeing rampant public prostitution activities. Residents in many areas say it's causing stress and fear. Senate Bill 357, introduced by Democrat State Senator Scott Wiener, repealed a law against loitering for prostitution purposes. The bill not only decriminalized loitering, but has also allowed people who have been convicted on these charges to petition a court to have these offenses sealed from their criminal records. But according to California law, prostitution remains illegal. This situation has pushed many residents to plead for officials to intervene after prostitution activity reportedly rose. As a result, San Francisco city officials are planning to install barriers along a strip of Cap Street, an area that's said to be where prostitution activities are the most concentrated. A resident from Cap Street told the San Francisco Chronicle, "From the window right there, I will see 3 people gang up on a girl. They will be hitting her. I call the cops, no one comes. There is nothing I can do." And in Southern California, Orange County Sheriff's Department spokeswoman Carrie Brown told the Epoch Times that the Bill 357 hinders law enforcement's efforts to identify and prosecute those who commit crimes related to prostitution and human trafficking. We are going to take a short break, but here's a look at what we got for you when we come back. Progress on Google's new campus on downtown San Jose is reportedly being reassessed. Locals say they are not surprised, but still looking forward to the new Google Transit Hub. As more Californians continue to leave the state, Utah's governor has a message for people looking to move to his state. And some people chose to spend their Valentine's Day romantically. while others opted for a wilder twist. NTD's Jason Blair attended an annual pillow fight and heard from some who participated. That and more on California Today. Welcome back to California Today. I'm your host, Liang Zhang. Reports said recently that Google might be reassessing its timeline for its tech village in downtown San Jose. But Google hasn't officially offered any specifics on future plans. NTD's David Lam has more on the story as locals share their thoughts on the future Google Transit Hub.
Progress is reportedly unclear with Google's planned tech village in downtown San Jose. The planned transit-oriented hub surrounding Diridon Station and SAP Center would consist of office buildings, homes, shops, and restaurants, and it could employ up to 25,000 people. This comes weeks after the CEO of Alphabet Inc., Google's parent company, sent a note to employees announcing the elimination of 12,000 jobs as a response to economic changes over the past 2 years. We're assessing how to best move forward with Downtown West, Sheila Jivan, Google's Downtown West Development Director, told Bay Area News Group. Community spots also nearby the development area include San Pedro Square Market and the niche Italian Business District.
Now, we spoke to some locals in Little Italy about what they thought about the Downtown West project.
We're kind of excited about it. We hope it's going to rejuvenate the downtown. We hope it's going to help a little bit with restoring some of the parks and kind of making the area a little bit nicer for us.
Super excited about it. I mean, this place is really turning into a happening spot. We've had a bunch of businesses open around us. We've always been dependent on locals coming to eat. Our lunchtime specifically, we get a lot of workers around the area coming here on their lunch breaks. It's a huge part of our business.
Locals share their thoughts on the potential project delays.
The delay's unfortunate. Obviously, more business sooner, better. We're patient. Like I said, we don't want to be overwhelmed either. So just, taking the time to grow, I think, could be helpful in that regard.
It doesn't surprise me. A bunch of the developments have been delayed because of COVID. A new building's going up next to us has been delayed. I think COVID kind of pushed everything back. People are rethinking. After all, people are working from home. All these companies are rethinking their plans, right? It's kind of changed strategy. So it doesn't surprise me.
The Downtown West project is to transform part of downtown San Jose. In 2021, San Jose City Council approved the mixed-use plan for creating an urban destination near public transit. The project's goals include 5,700 plus construction jobs, 4,000 new homes, as well as support for 25% affordable housing in the area. It will also have 15 acres of public parks and open space. Some locals told us that homelessness is an issue and hope the project can alleviate it. Google unveiled its framework in 2019 and currently in the phase to lay the groundwork. It previously stated that it will break ground by the end of the year.
Of course, be careful what you wish for. Sometimes there's unintended consequences, but right now I think we're all kind of looking forward to it.
The Italian culture here is awesome. We have Italian festivals every year. And the streets get packed.
Another restaurant worker told me that his restaurant gets busy because of the SAP Center. So with this Downtown West project, it might not affect them too much. But all in all, locals say they're anticipating and looking forward to more development in the area. David Lam, NTD News, San Jose, California.
More Californians continue to leave the state due to its high taxes, crime, and other problems. But the influx of new residents in neighboring states has caught the attention of one governor. Utah's Governor Spencer Cox has one message for Californians. Please stay in your state.
45 governors met in Washington, D.C. for the National Governors Association last week. It's a bipartisan national organization for governors to talk with President Joe Biden. After the meeting, Utah Governor Spencer Cox had this to say about the influx of Californians moving to his state. We would love for people to stay in California instead of coming as refugees to Utah. So we are always trying to figure that out. Our biggest problem is housing and water. Those two issues balance things out. Cox suggested, quote, cutting taxes and cutting regulations to help California keep more of its residents. According to a recent study from United Van Lines, California ranks in the top 10 for states that saw the most outflow of residents in 2022. The National Association of Realtors, which bases its analysis on census data, showed California at the top of the list, losing close to 300,000 people, followed by New York at close to 300,000 and Illinois at around 141,000 people. By contrast, the study showed Florida, Texas, North Carolina, and South Carolina saw a gain in migration. Jackie Rios, NTD News, California.
Postal data shows California experienced the largest net out-migration of any state in 2022. But the state still remains the most populous state in the nation with its nearly 39 million residents.
California saw the largest net out-migration of any state in 2022, around 343,000 people. That's according to an analysis by the National Association of Realtors. It pulled data from the U.S. Postal Service Change of Address database. According to the association, people who left California during the COVID-19 pandemic were driven by remote work opportunities, more space, and affordability. On the other hand, Florida became the fastest-growing state last year for the first time since 1957. In contrast, California, New York, and Illinois saw the most people leaving of any state. Terry Gilliam, Florida resident and founder of the almost 100,000 member-strong Facebook group Leaving California, says that the exodus is no surprise to him. He said just about everything is 25 to 50% lower in cost in Florida, including housing. The postal data analyzed by the Realtors Group showed that the South continues to be a popular destination. 26 states experienced an influx of people, with more people moving in than out. The states with the most net domestic migration gains in 2022 were Florida, Texas, and the two Carolinas.
One lucky California resident won last November's record-breaking $2 billion Powerball jackpot. The California Lottery revealed the winner's name earlier this week. California Lottery Director Alva Johnson revealed the winner, Edwin Castro, on Tuesday, but no other information. The winner didn't appear at the press conference but issued a statement. He said he was shocked and ecstatic. He was happy that the California public education system will benefit from his win. The statement said, as someone who received the rewards of being educated in the California public education system, it is gratifying to hear that as a result of my win, the California school system greatly benefits as well. The jackpot ticket was sold at a gas station in Altadena near Los Angeles. The owner, Joe Chahayed, received $1 million for selling the winning ticket. The multi-state Powerball climbed to the record high of $2.04 billion last November after more than 3 months of drawings without a winner. There are many ways to celebrate Valentine's Day, like a romantic dinner, flowers, or perhaps a wild and fun outdoor flash mob pillow fight. NTD's Jason Blair went to this year's annual Valentine's Day pillow fight in San Francisco.
I'm here in San Francisco at Embarcadero Plaza, where a somewhat organized annual Valentine's Day pillow fight is about to happen.
It's a big pillow fight. It just happens like every year, I think, for the last few years. This is my first one, though. So I just decided to get dressed up, get warm, like a big slumber party.
As the clock got closer to 6 p.m., more people started showing up to the plaza.
I just heard that it's random. It's not organized by anyone. There's no fee, and that it's just people getting together, and there's some rules.
And those rules are, don't hit anyone without a pillow, don't hit anyone with a camera, tell everyone you know about pillow fight, and most of all, have fun. Charlie has been coming to the pillow fight every year since 2012. He says the past few years have been a little sparse, but now things are beginning to pick up again.
Somewhere along the line, it was actually taken over by a group that was pay to play, and so it scared people away from it. But I'm glad it's back to being a flash mob.
I just came across it. Like I said, I was just getting off of work, and I saw a group of people hitting people with pillows, and someone gave me the pillow and like, go forward, and the rest is history.
Whether you're a first-time or a long-term veteran, young or old, one thing for certain is it's sure to be a hit. Jason Blair, NTD News, San Francisco.
Now let's check in with NTD's Tyler Castile for today's Sports Roundup.
Welcome everyone, I'm Tyler Castile and I'm taking you through the California Today Sports Roundup.
Kawhi Leonard scored 33 points and Norman Powell added 24 as Los Angeles ended a 2-game losing skid while extending Golden State's road woes. All-star Paul George scored 20 points with 8 assists as the Clippers won at home for the first time since January 26 while improving to 1-1 against the Warriors this season. Mason Plumlee, Eric Gordon, and Bones Highland all took the courts with the Clippers for the first time since they were acquired in trades last week. Jordan Poole scored 28 points and Kevin Looney added 11 points with 14 rebounds as Golden State enters the All-Star break, having lost 3 of its past 4 games. The Warriors fell to 7-22 on the road this season and are the only team currently in playoff or play-in position with single-digit road victories. Clippers 134, Warriors 124. Devin Booker went for a team-high 32 points. With injured newcomer Kevin Durant cheering the team on from the bench, outlasted visiting Sacramento. DeAndre Ayton provided the Suns with 29 points and a team-high 11 rebounds. Kevin Durant is scheduled to be out through the All-Star break with a sprained right MCL. De'Aaron Fox had a game-high 35 points, and Domantas Sabonis recorded 24 points, a game-high 15 rebounds and 7 assists for the Kings, who lost for the second time in 3 games. Suns 120, Kings 109. Jake Wenzel scored twice. Ricker Raquel had a goal and 2 assists, and Pittsburgh beat host San Jose. Sharks leading goal scorer Timo Meyer scored an unassisted goal late to spoil the shutout bid. Sharks captain Logan Couture appeared in his 900th career game, and with the net-minding tandem of Kaapo Kähkönen and James Reimer injured, Aaron Dell appeared in his 4th game this season and stopped 25 shots for San Jose. Penguins 3, Sharks 1.
And thank you for tuning in for the Sports Roundup for today.
That's all we've got for you tonight. We would like you to join us again on California Today every weekday at 8:30 p.m. Make sure to check out our broadcasts on our California Today webpage. You can find it at ntd.com/California-today. You can also find all of our top latest clips there, ready to share with friends and family. Send us a message on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, or through our email, california.today@ntd.com. I'm Liang Zhang. Have a wonderful evening.